I think the fact that it's been a different preseason than in past years simply because of the hurricane that knocked us out a couple days, but it also took away one of our scrimmages. So we're going into the season and not being in a tip-off tournament. So those situations are a little bit different than in past years. But I guess if there was a time when you need that, it's this year's team, because we're bringing in 2 transfers who have to fit into the program, as well as trying to mix them in with our sophomores and our only returning senior who's returning as a 4-year player, and that's Sinead Thompson. So it's been a little bit of a challenge to get the team to gel together, but I think the additional practice dates versus a scrimmage is something that is going to end up being an asset versus maybe in past years you want to have that game experience in terms of a scrimmage. We actually have one freshman who's healthy, and that's Tayon Morgan-Jones out of Atlantic City, and I think once she gets experience with the college game, she's sort of an aggressive type player, so the college game is going to fit her. Sarah Farrell's a sophomore. She's a transfer from Montclair. She's going to help us because she's got some game experience, and she also played in the New Jersey Athletic Conference, which I think is big. And a young lady who transferred in midterm last year, Sarah Gibbs out of Ocean City. I think now with a full preseason under her belt, she's going to be able to handle the point situation for the most part by herself. I mean, we kind of run an open set, so a point guard's important, but not as important as you may think. And I guess our biggest asset in terms of an experienced player is Alexa Ryan, who transferred here from Ramapo College. And Alexa just brings, she's a 3-year starter at Ramapo, all conference caliber player. And to bring somebody in the senior year, yeah, she's got to get used to our system a little bit, but she's just an experienced player. She's very mature and simply is working very, very hard. Well, we're basically going to rely on our sophomore class. Kelsey Brown is going to be at the post. Alex Nardoza can swing. She's a very versatile player, very good defender. She will be, she can play some point, she can play some 2, she can play some 3. She's going to be a big help. Brittany Munez, who was in our backcourt last year, will be returning, and she can play some point if needed, as well as mostly stable as a 2 guard. And Jen Glam, who was coming off of a knee injury last year, is going to help us at the guard spot. Casey Nickel, who I should have meant was a transfer last year, again at midterm, and I think Casey's kind of in the same boat as Sarah, where she's got that full year of experience now in the preseason, and she's going to help us both defensively and at the shooting guard spot. Well, I think the focus for myself, I have 2 new assistant coaches, so my focus definitely has to be on this year's team. There's a lot to college coaching, and you have 2 coaches who are coming in and learning the position as an assistant. Darren Stalling, he's been a high school coach, so he knows South Jersey very well. And Brenda Groff was a former player at Rowan and had coached 2 years in Wildwood at Wildwood High School, where she teaches. She knows the New Jersey Athletic Conference very well because she played 4 years at Rowan. But I think my focus is going to be just how I blend them into the program, getting them involved in the recruiting process, which is highly important, as well as handling the daily, day-to-day activities of coaching. So my main focus is really going to have to be the 2. think it's going to be interesting because we have a very strong conference, and I think the conference this year is going to be different than in past years because you're going to see some new teams in that top 4 spot. But I kind of just like the idea that we're playing round robin, we're playing everybody twice. I know that can have an impact on NCAA seedings later down the line, but I just still feel that when you play everybody twice, you kind of know who's at the top, and I think it's how it's going to end up playing out.